Who you think better, Jim Jones or Nas?
Oh wow.
We can make this quick.
Oh,
We don't even need a video.
That was a real question?
We don't even need a video for this. Jim Jones has been walking around saying that he's better than Nas and he made more influence than Nas, and nobody knows Nas. That's what Jim Jones has been saying. So the debate is Jim Jones better than Nas, like he thinks he is?
Okay, listen. That's two different things. There's three different things. Is Jim Jones better than Nas? Bro.
Anything?
Like, come on, bro.
Maybe at growing hair.
Like,
He got him on growing hair. Easy.
He got him on this. We're gonna go through this. If we talking about as a rapper, like, absolutely not. Like, stop it. Is Jim Jones more influential in music than Nas? That's a different conversation.
Well, you had me before you said in music, because influential, I will give you the argument. In music, unless I start seeing some writer credits from like mad different artists to where Jim Jones had some influence that I never knew he had, I don't hear a bunch of people making... I'm not even going to reduce him to that because he has had fire albums after this. But I don't hear a bunch of people mimicking Jim Jones, yo.
Now, pause. This is why I said three things. People would make that argument you just made. As soon as they hear that argument. Now, is Jim Jones more influential than Nas lifestyle-wise? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now,
That's where
I
you
think
got the argument.
Now, I think Jim Jones have the delusion of thinking that means he's more lit than Nas in general. Nah, bro. Nas still Nas, and Jim is a fan of Nas. It ain't like Jim think Nas trash or nothing. Yeah. He just like feeling himself, which to the same point as a rapper, you have accomplished some things. I ain't mad at Jim. You supposed to be feeling yourself. But better than Nas, it's kind of crazy, bro. You can be a good basketball player, and you can feel like, yo, I'm better than Anthony Edwards. But just to go to, I'm better than Michael Jordan. Bro, you got to relax. You got to relax, bro. Just saying, like, you got to relax. Like, Anthony Edwards, you know? he's obtainable. Like, he's still on the court right now. He ain't did that much. Mm-hmm. You can feel better than him and work towards being better than him. You got to get 6 rings before we even start talking, Mike, bro. You got to relax.
I might even give Jim Jones before this Hit Boy run, I'll give Jim Jones a beat selection victory over Nas. Because that was always a knock on Nas. He don't choose the best beats. So I'll always give him the beat choosing victory. That don't mean that if Nas was on those beats that Jim Jones chose that he's not going to make a better song or rap better. I'll say rap better. Make a better song and rapping better is two different things.
Okay, let me do this, though.
So
because I want to make sure we do put some respect.
Wait a minute.
I want to put some respect on something, though. Hold on. What we got? What we got?
You don't...
Whoa.
No, I'm not saying that he would. Hold on.
Let me clarify.
I'm not saying that he would make a better song than Nas hands down, but what I'm saying is we know that Nas will rap better than Jim Jones on anything hands down.
Right.
Okay.
I think so.
Right.
Song-wise, I don't know if he will make a better song than Jim Jones on everything.
I want to say this. I want to make sure I say this in this lens. Let's put a little respect on one thing when it comes to Jim Jones. I feel, and I've said this before when I did content, Jim Jones is probably the most improved rapper in the history of hip-hop. When Jim Jones first came out, Jim was trash, bro. He was terrible. Super terrible. Jim actually be knocking some stuff down now, bro.
Hey, most improved player.
He is though. Like Jim actually he be getting busy. Like you could put Jim on a track with Nas, and y'all can laugh at it. Jim gonna have a solid verse, bro. Jim not gonna have no whack verse. That's what I'm saying. Now, the problem is you're trying to have a historical conversation with Nas because it's Nas, bro. Even if you had a better verse than Nas right now, even if he did, you know what people gonna say? You still ain't better than Nas, bro. Yeah. And that's the problem. Like you still ain't. It don't matter what you do.
I also stand by that he would not have a better verse than Nas in any time, in any year, on any day. Bro. He will have a fire verse, and his verse will be good, and it will make a great song. That does not mean that Jim is going to be trash on that. I'm definitely not saying that, because we know Jim Pen Game. Jim can rap, especially now. It's up there.
Them be barring stuff down.
Yes, fire, and he make great albums. So Jim is fire. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that to me, I have a hard time believing it, and if it's so, you'll have to show me. But the same beat, pick the same BPM on something, and then somebody mix it down and put it together. I just think that Nas is always gonna have a better verse than Jim. Now, if you give them some original stuff and let them, that should be the new battling. You get a beat, I get a beat. Let's make a song together, get the money, the royalties together, and all of that, and let's see who got the better verse.
It's the thing. When it comes to something like that, with a Nas and Jim, it's gonna be exactly what Jim's point of his comparison is. Jim gonna add something to that. He gonna add the lifestyle. He gonna add the swag to it. Nas gonna maybe add, some lyrical, some that the genuine hip hop fans like.
Yeah.
Together, it might make a dope song.
Yeah.
But that's what I always say. You gotta let the artist be the artist, because it's hard to compare Jim Jones to Nas, bro.
Yeah, but
I think
Jim Jones can be a dope artist as a Jim Jones, but like when you go to Nas, it's like,
hey, the bigger challenge. Then Corey, I'm gonna see, but before I forget this because I partake. The bigger challenge is you let Nas do a song in Jim Jones style, and then you ask Jim to do a song in Nas style, and then they do that together. And then you compare, because then you have the styles. But what was you gonna say, Corey? My bad.
I think Jim Jones shines, like you said, when he's speaking about the swag and things of that sort and lifestyle stuff. I think he benefits more from a better, more intricate beat, something that's a little bit more catchy, a little bit more mainstream. You put Jim Jones on a 4-bar, 8-bar loop,
but I've
like
heard him
Nas,
get busy on those though. Y'all just gotta
to the extent that Nas,
Jim got stuff in his catalog. That's his
Nas,
argument.
But Nas got 3 albums of loops.
To your point, bro. It's Nas. Do Jim got to rewind? Do Jim got a one mic? No, of course not. That's the argument.
The rewind.
It's like no matter how good the songs is that Jim have, the argument's still gonna be you ain't got a New York state of mind though. It don't matter. You don't got If I Rule the World. That's gonna always be the argument, because Nas' joints is so classic.
So you telling me Nas's highs
is so
as far beyond Jim Jones's highs?
Yes.
He said my nigga Jungle hollered out something crazy like "Go he there."
Bro. Yes. Like, Ballin' is Jim's biggest joint.
She came over and spit a
New York, like that New York State of Mind is 10 times bigger than that. If you talk about greatest songs in hip hop, New York State of Mind is 10 times bigger than Ballin'. And that's just one. That's not even his biggest. That's not even the Hate Me Now. That's not
even the Illmatic album.
That's the phone that told me Stress really picked up a Gucci bag and left her. But I just remembered that was another girl in that story. I just remembered that reciting the lyrics. Like,
it's like I'm a gun.
Picked up a phone that told her Stress really picked up a Gucci bag and left her behind. Oh my God, yo, Jim who? Jim, you talking about that? The only class I got an A in high school? Jim?
But is Jim the best out of his crew? Is he the best out of Dipset?
No.
So you not even the best inside your own crew.
If we don't
yet you're gonna come against the king.
If we don't count Cameron, he not the best.
Wait a minute. That's what I'm saying.
Jewels, I would put Jewels over, bro.
That's what I'm saying. If we don't count Cameron, he not the best.
You cannot put Jewels over Jim.
Why can't you?
Because you got to put some respect on Jim's catalog. Jim been dropping music this whole time.
Take it back. You're right. I stand corrected. You are right.
Catalog.
God,
Jewels had a couple years, bro.
But Jewels' highs were higher than Jim's.
No. Jewels ain't got nothing close to Ballin'. Nothing.
What?
I don't think.
Summer Miami?
I don't even,
bro.
I don't honestly. I didn't think about
Weatherman when he had stack bundles and all them, and Max beat them. Nah, bro.
I didn't even think about balling. I'm thinking about, which is a great point, balling. I'm just thinking about what he doing now. I'm thinking about longevity. Like, he's still rapping now. He rapping.
He got a joint out now.
And he got dope albums.
If you had one verse, so I'll put it to you like this: you needed one hot verse out of Dipset. Who are you going to? Who's your number one to say, I need one hot verse?
Win.
Yeah, win.
2005,
now,
2025.
Right now?
Right now.
Jim. Easy. Jim.
both y'all would go with Jim?
Yes.
Nat
Right now.
2025, yes. Easy.
Now, if you say historically speaking, I'm gonna say Cam 100% of the time because
I mean,
I'm biased.
So you act
Oh,
like Cam
my
can't
bad.
still spit?
I took Cam out. My bad.
You
I
act
took,
like Cam still
Wait,
still can't spit?
no.
Does-
Cam still Cam.
Does
Cam.
I
Cam
think
ain't gonna do it. Number one.
Hold on. That was
Cam
another
ain't
thing.
gonna do it.
I'm not gonna be able to.
I'm asking Cam.
I ain't gonna be able to afford
I can't
Cameron.
afford Cam.
But hold on. I thought we was
Jim
just
might be
choosing.
in the budget.
I thought we was just choosing between Jim and
Nah, out
and
the crew,
Joel.
out Dipset.
Oh well, definitely. If I got my choice in the budget, it'll be Cam as number one. But if I'm choosing as far as if it's just between Jim and Joel's, then yeah, I'm gonna choose Jim for the next go round. I'm gonna see if I hit Cam up in my budget $1 million and Cam be like I want $1 million, I'm gonna hit Jim up and see what he talking about.